Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle you just can't escape? You promise yourself you'll stop, but somehow, you find yourself doing the same thing again and again. Whether it's smoking, binge eating, endless scrolling on social media, or even toxic relationships, addiction can quietly take control of your life, without you even realizing it. But what if I told you that you can break free? What if you could press the restart button and completely transform your life? If you're tired of feeling powerless and want to regain control, this video is for you. By the end of this, you'll have a clear roadmap to quit any addiction and achieve anything in life. You're about to learn the secrets that people who reinvent themselves use to break bad habits and build a future they're proud of. But before we dive in, stick around, because what I'll share in the next few minutes might just change your life forever. Understanding addiction. The invisible chains. Most people think of addiction as a lack of willpower. But let me tell you a secret, addiction is not about willpower at all. It's about neural pathways in your brain that have been programmed to crave a certain behavior. Every time you engage in your addiction, your brain rewards you with dopamine, the feel-good chemical. Over time, your brain starts demanding more and more of it, making it feel impossible to stop. This is why quitting feels so hard. It's not that you're weak, it's that your brain has been rewired to crave that habit. But here's the good news. Just as your brain learned to be addicted, it can unlearn it, too. The key is to interrupt the pattern and replace it with something better. Step 1. Make a powerful decision. Nothing changes until you decide. Think about it. Every great transformation in history began with a single decision. When Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, he made a decision to become the greatest player ever. When Oprah was fired from her first TV job, she made a decision to prove them wrong. The same goes for you. You have to decide, right now, that your old self, the one addicted, the one stuck, the one feeling powerless, is gone. You are stepping into a new version of yourself. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. The truth is, most people never truly decide. They try to quit. They hope things will change. But that's not enough. You must commit as if your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. So ask yourself, are you truly ready to let go of the old version of you? If the answer is yes, let's move forward. Step 2. Identify your triggers. Imagine trying to drive somewhere you've never been without a map. You'd get lost, right? That's exactly what happens when you try to quit an addiction without understanding what triggers it. Every addiction is fueled by triggers, certain emotions, people, places, or situations that push you towards the habit. Maybe you smoke when you're stressed. Maybe you binge eat when you're bored. Maybe you scroll on social media when you feel lonely. Your job is to identify these triggers and write them down. The moment you become aware of what's driving your addiction, you gain power over it. Step 3. Replace the habit. Don't just remove it. Here's the mistake most people make when they try to quit an addiction. They just try to stop without replacing it with something better. But nature hates a vacuum. If you don't replace your addiction, your brain will pull you back into it. Let's say you're trying to quit social media addiction. Instead of just deleting apps, replace that time with something better, reading, exercising, or learning a skill. If you're quitting smoking, replace the habit with deep breathing or chewing gum. Your brain needs a new reward system, so give it one. Step 4. Create an unbreakable system. Willpower alone will never be enough. Think about it. If willpower worked, wouldn't everyone be successful and addiction-free? Instead, what you need is a system, a structure that makes failure almost impossible. Here's how you do it. Remove temptations. If you're quitting junk food, don't keep it in your house. If you're quitting social media, delete the apps. Set clear rules. Make it black and white. Not, I'll try to quit, but I will quit. Not, I'll reduce my phone use, but no phone after 8 p.m. Accountability. Tell someone about your goal. Join a group. Find a mentor. The more people holding you accountable, the better. Systems beat motivation every time. Build the right system, and success becomes automatic. Step 5. Rewire your identity. The biggest shift happens when you stop seeing yourself as someone trying to quit an addiction and start seeing yourself as someone who doesn't do it. Let me explain. If someone offers a cigarette to two people and they both refuse, but one says, "I'm trying to quit," while the other says, "I don't smoke," who do you think will stay smoke-free? The one who says, "I don't smoke." Why? Because their identity has changed. They no longer see themselves as a smoker who's struggling. They see themselves as someone who doesn't smoke. Identity is everything. So whatever addiction you're breaking, don't say, "I'm trying to quit." Say, "I am free from this addiction. I am a new person." Speak it into existence until it becomes your truth. Step 6. Build a life so amazing that you never want to go back. Most people fail to quit their addiction because they don't replace it with something better. If your life is boring, stressful, or unfulfilling, your brain will crave that old habit. So instead of just quitting, focus on building a life so exciting, fulfilling, and meaningful that addiction has no place in it. Find a passion. Set massive goals. Improve your health. Strengthen your relationships. When your life is filled with purpose, you won't even be tempted to go back. Final step. Never look back. Now that you've made the decision, identified your triggers, replaced your habit, built a system, rewired your identity, and created a better life, there's only one thing left to do: never look back. When you're tempted, remind yourself why you started. When your mind tells you to quit, tell it, "That's not me anymore." Keep pushing forward, because the future you deserves it. Imagine waking up 1 year from now, free from your addiction, in the best shape of your life, surrounded by people who inspire you, doing work that fulfills you. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing someone you're truly proud of. That future is waiting for you. But you have to take the first step today. If this video helped you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs it. Let's change lives together. And remember, you can restart your life. The power is in your hands. Now, go make it happen.